Do you remember those hearty hillbilly sandwiches that once filled every country kitchen in the early 1970s? They were simple, messy, and made with whatever folks had on hand. But every bite told a story of hard work and homegrown comfort. From fried bologna to pickled beef, these sandwiches were born out of thrift, love, and our Southern ingenuity. Today, we're bringing them back. 30 forgotten hillbilly favorites that defined real country living. Ham and Chow Chow Sandwich. The ham and chow chow sandwich is a true emblem of early 1970s country life, a humble yet flavorful creation that reflects the ingenuity of rural kitchens. Simple, satisfying, and packed with punchy flavors, this sandwich was a staple for farmhands, school children, and families looking for a quick, hearty meal. Its charm lies in the combination of savory, salty ham layered with chow chow, a tangy pickled relish made from a mix of vegetables like cabbage, green tomatoes, peppers, and onions. The marriage of rich meat and zesty relish transforms a plain sandwich into a lively, satisfying bite that is as comforting as it is distinctive. The classic preparation begins with slices of country-cured or smoked ham, often left over from a family dinner, layered generously between slices of sturdy white or whole wheat bread. The star of the sandwich, chow chow, is spooned liberally atop the ham, adding a crunchy texture and sharp, vinegary flavor that balances the meat's richness. Some variations include a thin spread of mustard or butter to enrich the bread and enhance the overall flavor. The result is a rustic, portable sandwich that could easily be packed for a lunch in the fields, a school meal, or a quick bite at home. Ham and Chow Chow Sandwich reflects the resourcefulness and practicality of early 1970s rural kitchens. Ingredients were inexpensive and readily available, yet the combination created a dish that was flavorful, filling, and utterly satisfying. It required little preparation beyond slicing and layering, yet the interplay of textures and tastes, from the soft bread and tender ham to the tangy crunch of the chow chow, made each bite memorable. Though it may feel retro today, the ham and chow chow sandwich remains a nostalgic favorite for those who appreciate traditional country cooking. Each bite delivers a burst of tang, salt, and savory satisfaction, reminding us that some of the simplest, most frugal meals can also be the most memorable. This sandwich wasn't just a quick meal, it was a flavorful testament to the creativity, practicality, and heart of early 1970s country kitchens. Liverwurst and pickle loaf. Liverwurst and pickle loaf is a quintessential 1970s hillbilly sandwich, offering a bold, savory flavor that reflects the resourcefulness and practicality of rural kitchens. This sandwich was a favorite for family lunches, farmhand meals, and casual gatherings, prized for its simplicity, affordability, and satisfying taste. Its charm lies in the combination of smooth, rich liverwurst spread over hearty bread, complemented by the crisp, tangy bite of pickles or pickle loaf, creating a layered flavor profile that is both robust and comforting. The classic preparation begins with slices of dense white or whole wheat bread, lightly buttered if desired to add richness and prevent sogginess. Thick slices of pickle loaf, essentially pickles set in a gelatinized mixture of vinegar and spices, are laid atop a generous layer of liverwurst, providing a refreshing tang that cuts through the meat's richness. Some variations include a thin smear of mustard or a sprinkle of black pepper to heighten the flavor, while others keep it simple, letting the savory, sweet contrast of liverwurst and pickles take center stage. The result is a rustic, portable sandwich that is easy to assemble yet packed with distinctive taste, perfect for a quick lunch or an on-the-go snack. Liverwurst and pickle loaf reflects the ingenuity and thriftiness of 1970s country cooking. Ingredients were inexpensive, widely available, and could be stored for long periods, making the sandwich both practical and economical. Despite its humble components, the interplay of creamy liverwurst and tangy pickles created a memorable combination that delighted taste buds and satisfied hunger. Its ease of preparation also made it a household favorite, requiring no cooking while delivering maximum flavor. Though it may feel retro today, liverwurst and pickle loaf remain a nostalgic emblem of early 1970s country life. Each creamy, tangy bite serves as a reminder that simple, thoughtfully combined ingredients can create a dish that is both hearty and memorable. This sandwich wasn't just a meal. It was a flavorful tribute to the resourcefulness and culinary creativity of rural kitchens. Pimento cheese and bacon sandwich. The pimento cheese and bacon sandwich is a beloved 1970s Hillbilly classic, combining creamy, tangy pimento cheese with the smoky, savory richness of crispy bacon for a flavor-packed bite. This sandwich was a staple in rural kitchens, school lunches, and family gatherings, offering a satisfying, indulgent treat made from simple, accessible ingredients. Its appeal lies in the contrast of textures and flavors. Smooth, slightly spicy pimento cheese spread pairs perfectly with the crisp, salty bacon, all nestled between slices of sturdy bread that hold everything together. The traditional preparation begins with a generous layer of homemade or store-bought pimento cheese, made from sharp cheddar, diced pimentos, mayonnaise, and a hint of seasoning for extra flavor. Crispy strips of bacon are then added on top, providing a crunchy texture and smoky aroma that elevates the creamy cheese. Some variations include adding sliced tomatoes, a touch of mustard, or even a leaf of crisp lettuce to balance the richness and add freshness. The sandwich is typically served on white or whole wheat bread, lightly toasted if desired, resulting in a warm, comforting, and visually appealing meal. Pimento cheese and bacon sandwich reflects the practicality and ingenuity of 1970s country cooking. Its ingredients were inexpensive, easy to store, and quick to assemble, yet the final product was indulgent and memorable. The combination of creamy, tangy cheese with crisp bacon made it a hit with children and adults alike, while the simplicity of preparation suited busy households or quick lunches on the go. Though it may feel retro today, the pimento cheese and bacon sandwich remains a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of cozy kitchens, school lunch boxes, and rural family traditions. Each bite delivers a satisfying balance of creamy, salty, and smoky flavors, reminding us that humble ingredients, thoughtfully combined, can create something truly delicious. This sandwich wasn't just a meal. It was a tasty testament to the resourcefulness and culinary creativity of early 1970s country life. Bologna with mustard and onion. Bologna with mustard and onion is a quintessential 1970s hillbilly sandwich celebrated for its simplicity, bold flavors, and practicality. This humble sandwich was a staple at family lunches, school meals, and farmhand snacks, offering a quick and satisfying option when time and ingredients were limited. Its charm lies in the contrast of flavors. Savory, salty bologna paired with the sharp tang of mustard and the pungent bite of raw or lightly sautéed onions, all layered between slices of soft, hearty bread. The classic preparation begins with thick or thin slices of bologna, often fried lightly to enhance flavor and texture, then layered generously on white or whole wheat bread. A smear of yellow or brown mustard is spread over the bread, providing tang and moisture, while thinly sliced onions add crunch and a zesty bite. Some variations include a touch of black pepper or a slice of cheese to enrich the flavor further. But the essential combination of bologna, mustard, and onion remains the star of the sandwich. The result is a rustic, portable meal that is hearty, flavorful, and instantly satisfying. Bologna with mustard and onion reflects the ingenuity and resourcefulness of 1970s country cooking. Its ingredients were inexpensive, widely available, and easy to store, making the sandwich both practical and economical. Despite its simplicity, the combination of salty, tangy, and sharp flavors creates a memorable taste that satisfies children and adults alike. Its ease of preparation also made it a go-to choice for busy households or quick, on-the-go lunches. Though it may feel retro today, bologna with mustard and onion remains a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of mid-century kitchens, school lunch boxes, and rural family meals. Each bite delivers a satisfying blend of savory, tangy, and crisp flavors, reminding us that simple, thoughtfully combined ingredients can create a dish that is both hearty and memorable. This sandwich wasn't just a meal, it was a flavorful testament to the creativity and practicality of early 1970s country life. Fried bologna and egg sandwich. The fried bologna and egg sandwich is a hearty and nostalgic 1970s hillbilly favorite, combining simple, everyday ingredients into a satisfying and flavorful meal. This sandwich was a go-to for breakfast, lunch, or even a quick dinner, especially in rural kitchens where practicality and taste were equally important. Its appeal lies in the combination of crispy, savory fried bologna with a tender, warm fried or scrambled egg, all nestled between slices of soft bread, creating a rich, comforting bite that could fuel a long day on the farm or in the schoolyard. The classic preparation begins by frying thick or thin slices of bologna in a skillet until the edges are slightly crisp and golden, releasing their smoky, salty aroma. Eggs are cooked to preference, sunny side up, over easy, or scrambled, and layered on top of the hot bologna. The sandwich is usually assembled on white or whole wheat bread, sometimes toasted or buttered for added flavor and texture. Optional additions include a slice of cheese, a dash of black pepper, or a smear of mustard or ketchup to enhance the richness and tie the heat flavors together. The result is a portable, satisfying meal with a perfect balance of saltiness, creaminess, and warmth. Fried bologna and egg sandwich reflects the ingenuity and practicality of 1970s country cooking. Its ingredients were inexpensive, widely available, and easy to prepare, yet the finished sandwich was hearty, flavorful, and memorable. It was a versatile dish, suitable for any meal of the day, and could be prepared quickly to satisfy hungry family members. The combination of fried bologna and egg created a nostalgic flavor that resonated across generations. Though it may feel retro today, the fried bologna and egg sandwich remains a nostalgic favorite, evoking memories of early morning kitchens, farm lunches, and simple rural meals. Each bite delivers a satisfying mix of crispy, savory, and tender textures, proving that humble ingredients, thoughtfully combined, can create a meal that is both hearty and delicious. This sandwich wasn't just a quick bite. It was a flavorful emblem of 1970s country life. Peanut butter and bacon sandwich. The peanut butter and bacon sandwich is one of those wonderfully odd yet irresistible 1970s hillbilly classics that perfectly captures the spirit of country ingenuity. Sweet, salty, and smoky all at once, this sandwich was born from the idea of making the most out of what was on hand and somehow creating pure magic in the process. It was a favorite among families looking for something quick, filling, and packed with flavor, often appearing in lunch boxes, roadside picnics, and late-night snacks after long days. The classic preparation begins with soft slices of white or wheat bread generously spread with creamy or crunchy peanut butter. Crispy bacon strips are layered on top, their smoky saltiness complementing the nutty sweetness of the peanut butter in a way that feels both surprising and deeply satisfying. Some folks added a drizzle of honey, a slice of banana, or a touch of jam to tilt the flavor in a sweeter direction, while others preferred it plain and savory. The sandwich could be eaten cold or toasted lightly in a pan, allowing the peanut butter to melt just enough to mingle with the bacon's rich flavor. The peanut butter and bacon sandwich reflects the heart of 1970s country cooking. Simple, frugal, and endlessly creative. It required no fancy ingredients, yet delivered a bold and memorable taste that was impossible to forget. It was quick to make, packed with protein, and comforting in the most unexpected way, proving that even the most unusual combinations could become household favorites. Though it may sound unconventional to modern tastes, the peanut butter and bacon sandwich remains a nostalgic gem from a time when practicality met flavor-driven experimentation. Each bite delivers a perfect balance of creamy, crunchy, and smoky goodness, reminding us that country cooks of the past knew how to turn the simplest ingredients into something truly special. This wasn't just a sandwich. It was a small, delicious reminder that resourcefulness and comfort often go hand in hand. Pickled egg and ham sandwich. The pickled egg and ham sandwich is a true taste of 1970s country ingenuity, a tangy, savory creation that turned humble ingredients into a bold and flavorful meal. This sandwich was a staple in many rural households, often packed for long work days, picnics, or quick lunches when something hearty and satisfying was needed. Its charm lies in the perfect balance of salty ham and the sharp, vinegary bite of pickled eggs, coming together in a way that's both unexpected and completely comforting. The classic preparation begins with slices of sturdy white or wheat bread, buttered or lightly spread with mustard or mayonnaise for moisture. Thin slices of smoky country ham are layered generously, followed by slices of pickled egg, firm, tangy, and slightly spiced from their brine of vinegar, salt, and peppercorns. Some variations include a leaf of lettuce or a few pickle chips to add crunch, but most kept it simple, letting the rich saltiness of the ham and the zing of the egg do the talking. The sandwich could be eaten cold, making it perfect for lunch pails or packed picnics on warm afternoons. The pickled egg and ham sandwich embodies the resourcefulness of 1970s rural cooking, where preservation and practicality shaped every meal. Pickled eggs were a way to extend the life of fresh ingredients, and pairing them with leftover ham created a meal that was filling, flavorful, and economical. It was the kind of sandwich that didn't just feed you, it reminded you of the importance of making do with what you had and turning it into something special. Though it may seem like a relic of the past, the pickled egg and ham sandwich remains a nostalgic reminder of country kitchens where nothing went to waste and every bite told a story. Each tangy, savory mouthful captures the balance of thrift and creativity that defined rural life in the early 1970s. This sandwich wasn't just lunch. It was a delicious testament to the art of making simple food taste unforgettable. Cabbage and ham sandwich. The cabbage and ham sandwich may sound like a humble affair, but for many country families in the early 1970s, it was a thrifty masterpiece of flavor and texture. Born out of necessity and clever use of leftovers, this sandwich turned two everyday staples, ham and cabbage, into something surprisingly hearty. It was the kind of sandwich that showed up in lunch pails at church picnics or wrapped in wax paper for a midday break on the farm. Simple, satisfying, and just a little bit sweet from the cabbage, it became a quiet favorite in rural kitchens. The beauty of this sandwich lies in its simplicity. Chopped or shredded cooked cabbage, often sautéed in a bit of butter or leftover bacon grease, was mixed with diced ham and sometimes a spoonful of mayonnaise or mustard to bind it all together. This mixture was then piled between slices of soft white or rye bread, creating a filling that was both tender and flavorful. Some cooks added a touch of vinegar or sprinkle of sugar to the cabbage for a tangy sweet contrast, giving each bite that familiar country kitchen balance. In an era when every meal had to stretch, nothing went to waste, and the cabbage and ham sandwich was proof of that philosophy. Leftover boiled ham from Sunday dinner and half a head of cabbage from the root cellar could easily become lunch for the next day. It was nourishing, affordable, and carried that unmistakable home-cooked taste that fancy sandwiches couldn't match. Today, the cabbage and ham sandwich stands as a reminder of frugality and flavor working hand in hand. It speaks to a time when sandwiches were built not just from what was available, but from a sense of care and creativity. Each bite is a little piece of country wisdom, proof that with a skillet, some leftovers, and a bit of heart, country ham and sorghum syrup sandwich. The country ham and sorghum syrup sandwich is pure Southern ingenuity. Salty, sweet, and downright unforgettable. In the early 1970s, this sandwich wasn't fancy, but it was beloved, especially in small towns and farm kitchens where every meal told a story. With its bold contrast of smoky country ham and thick, golden sorghum syrup, it offered a balance of flavors that could satisfy a hungry worker or delight a Sunday supper crowd. This was the kind of sandwich that reminded folks of wood stoves, tin lunch pails, and a time when simple food was the best kind. It all started with the ham, thin slices of salty, cured country ham, often fried just enough to crisp the edges. The sorghum syrup, a Southern staple made from sweet sorghum cane, added a deep, earthy sweetness unlike anything from a store-bought jar. Spread generously over a warm biscuit or thick slice of bread, it mellowed the saltiness of the ham, creating a bite that was both comforting and rich. In some homes, a pat of butter joined the mix, melting into the syrup for an extra layer of indulgence. This sandwich was more than a quick meal. It was a taste of heritage. Farmers made their own sorghum every fall, boiling it down in open kettles until it gleamed like amber, then saving it for moments like this. Pairing it with ham wasn't just convenient, it was tradition, born from the rhythms of the land and the bounty of hard work. Today, the country ham and sorghum syrup sandwich stands as a sweet and salty symbol of rural resilience. It's a reminder that the best meals don't come from recipes alone, but from memory, thrift, and heart. Each bite connects us to a simpler time when flavor came from the smokehouse and the syrup mill, and the kitchen table was the true center of life. Cream cheese and jalapeno sandwich. The cream cheese and jalapeno sandwich was a fiery little gem that lit up country kitchens in the early 1970s. It was simple enough for a weekday lunch, yet bold enough to stand out at a potluck or picnic table. Creamy, tangy, and with a kick of heat, it was proof that you didn't need fancy ingredients to make something memorable. Just a loaf of bread, a block of cream cheese, and a few pickled jalapenos from the pantry. In the heart of hillbilly country, this was the kind of sandwich that turned plain bread into a bite full of personality. The secret lay in the contrast. The cool, velvety cream cheese softened the burn of the jalapenos, turning their sharp spice into a bright burst of flavor. Some folks added a dash of garlic salt or a sprinkle of black pepper to give it a little more attitude, while others stirred in chopped onions or pimentos for color. Spread thick between slices of soft white or rye bread, it delivered a perfect balance, smooth, spicy, and satisfying with every bite. This sandwich wasn't just about convenience, it was about resourcefulness. Cream cheese was affordable, long-lasting, and versatile, while jalapenos added life to an otherwise plain lunch. In towns where people grew their own peppers and canned them for winter, this recipe was a way to put that homegrown heat to good use. It fit right into the rhythm of frugal, flavorful living, where nothing went to waste and every meal had a story. Today, the cream cheese and jalapeno sandwich still feels like a little slice of rebellion. A creamy, spicy reminder of how country cooks knew how to make the most of what they had. It's humble, it's bold, and it's unforgettable. One bite and you'll see why this fiery favorite deserves a comeback on every table that still appreciates flavor with a little kick. Bologna and coleslaw sandwich. The bologna and coleslaw sandwich was a lunchtime classic in the rural 1970s. A humble, hearty bite that perfectly captured the no-fuss charm of country living. It was the kind of sandwich you'd find packed in a metal lunchbox, wrapped in wax paper, and eaten under the shade of a tree after a long morning's work. Salty slices of bologna met the cool, crunchy tang of homemade coleslaw, creating a combination that was both refreshing and satisfyingly rich. For many families, this sandwich was proof that you didn't need expensive ingredients to make something downright delicious. The beauty of it was in the contrast. The smoky, slightly greasy bologna paired beautifully with the crisp cabbage and creamy dressing of the slaw. Some folks used mayonnaise-heavy coleslaw for a smooth, rich texture, while others preferred a vinegar-based version for extra tang. When piled high between two slices of soft white bread, or even a fresh biscuit, the result was a perfect balance of flavors: sweet, salty, tangy, and just a little messy the way good food should be. This sandwich wasn't just about taste, it was about thrift and tradition. Bologna was cheap, filling, and easy to find, while coleslaw was often made from leftover cabbage grown right in the garden. Together, they turned scraps into something satisfying. A working man's meal that hit the spot without costing much. It became a favorite at church picnics, roadside diners, and home kitchens alike, often served alongside potato chips or a dill pickle spear. Today, the bologna and coleslaw sandwich feels like a bite of nostalgia, a reminder of when lunch was simple, honest, and made with care. It's the kind of comfort food that takes you straight back to Grandma's kitchen, where the slaw was always homemade and the bologna was fried just enough to curl at the edges. One taste and you'll understand why this old-school favorite deserves a spot back on the table. Egg and ham salad sandwich. The egg and ham salad sandwich was the unsung hero of country lunchboxes and picnic baskets in the early 1970s. It brought together two humble ingredients: boiled eggs and leftover ham, and turned them into something creamy, hearty, and deeply comforting. This sandwich was a favorite among frugal home cooks who believed in stretching every bit of Sunday's ham into weekday meals. With its simple mix of protein, mayonnaise, and a touch of spice, it was a satisfying bite that spoke of thrift, care, and homemade goodness. The secret was in the texture. The eggs were chopped fine, the ham diced into small salty bits, then bound together with a spoonful or two of mayonnaise or salad dressing. Some folks added a hint of mustard, a sprinkle of paprika, or a few diced pickles to give it character. Others swore by a dash of sweet relish for that nostalgic tang. Piled high on soft white bread or spooned onto a split roll, the result was a sandwich that was both rich and refreshing, perfectly balanced and impossible to resist. What made this sandwich so beloved was its practicality. It made use of leftovers, stretched ingredients further, and provided a filling meal for just pennies. Families across the South and Midwest often whipped up egg and ham salad for picnics, church potlucks, or quick farm lunches, where it was served alongside sweet tea and potato chips. It wasn't fancy, but it didn't need to be. It was real food for real life. Today, the egg and ham salad sandwich remains a taste of simpler times, a creamy, savory reminder of when every meal came from the heart and nothing went to waste. One bite brings back the memory of cool kitchen counters, the hum of a summer afternoon, and the comfort of food made to last. It's proof that the best recipes aren't forgotten. They're just waiting to be rediscovered. Sloppy Joe on white bread. The Sloppy Joe on white bread was a messy masterpiece that ruled dinner tables and lunch trays across America in the early 1970s. Before fancy brioche buns and artisanal versions came along, it was simple. Ground beef simmered in a tangy, tomato-rich sauce and spooned over plain white sandwich bread. It wasn't pretty, but it was pure comfort. Warm, sweet, a little spicy, and dripping with nostalgia. This was the kind of meal that made weeknights easier and filled bellies without breaking the bank. In countless homes, moms browned ground beef in a cast iron skillet, stirring in ketchup, mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and maybe a dash of brown sugar. The smell alone could bring kids running to the kitchen. A couple of soft slices of white bread were all it took to turn that saucy mixture into dinner. The bread soaked up every bit of flavor, going limp and sticky in the best possible way. No forks required, though napkins were a must. It was the ultimate frugal favorite. Sloppy Joes stretched a pound of meat into a family meal, making them perfect for tight budgets and busy households. They were quick, hearty, and loved by everyone from factory workers to school kids. In small towns, they often showed up at church suppers and potlucks, served in big pans next to bowls of potato chips and baked beans. Some even added chopped green peppers or onions for extra bite, but the soul of the sandwich was always the same, simple and satisfying. Today, the Sloppy Joe on white bread is a reminder of what home cooking used to be: unpretentious, affordable, and full of heart. It's the taste of childhood kitchens, Friday night dinners, and second helpings. One bite of that saucy, bread-soaked goodness, and you'll understand why this 1970s classic deserves a comeback, mess and all. Corned beef and sauerkraut sandwich. The corned beef and sauerkraut sandwich was a tangy, meaty staple that defined hearty country lunches in the early 1970s. It wasn't fancy, but it packed flavor in every bite. Salty corned beef layered with sharp, briny sauerkraut, and often finished with a swipe of mustard or a slice of cheese. Some folks called it a poor man's Reuben. though it didn't need rye bread or Thousand Island dressing to win anyone over. This was the sandwich of lunch pails, roadside diners, and family suppers where bold flavors ruled the plate. The magic came from its balance of textures and tastes. The tender, salty beef melted into the tang of sauerkraut, while soft white or wheat bread held it all together just long enough to take a bite. In some kitchens, the sandwich was toasted or fried in butter, giving the bread a golden crunch that played perfectly against the juicy filling. Others liked it cold, simple, quick, and satisfying right out of the fridge. Either way, it was a meal that filled you up and woke up your taste buds at the same time. This sandwich reflected Depression-era thrift and 1970s practicality. Corned beef, often canned or made from leftover roast, was affordable and long-lasting, while sauerkraut added punch and preserved homegrown cabbage through the winter. Together, they made a meal that was both frugal and flavorful, a favorite among farmers, factory workers, and families looking to stretch their groceries just a little further. Today, the corned beef and sauerkraut sandwich stands as a reminder of how clever country cooks could turn simple ingredients into something extraordinary. It's salty, tangy, and satisfying in that unmistakably old-fashioned way. One bite, and you're transported straight back to Grandma's kitchen table, where the sauerkraut was homemade, the bread was buttered thick, and every meal was made to last. A fried chicken salad sandwich. The fried chicken salad sandwich was country comfort at its finest, a clever way to turn yesterday's leftovers into today's hearty lunch. In the early 1970s, when nothing in the kitchen went to waste, home cooks knew how to give fried chicken new life. They'd strip the meat from the bone, chop it fine, and fold it into a creamy, flavorful mixture that tastes served between slices of soft white bread or a flaky biscuit. It was a Southern staple that blended frugality with flavor. The secret was in the texture. The crispy bits of leftover breading gave the salad a subtle crunch, while the chicken stayed tender and juicy under a coat of mayonnaise, mustard, and sometimes a touch of pickle relish. A sprinkle of salt, pepper, and maybe a dash of paprika tied it all together. Some cooks added celery for freshness or chopped boiled egg for extra richness. No matter how you made it, every bite felt like a reward for not letting good fried chicken go to waste. This sandwich reflected a generation's resourcefulness. Fried chicken was often reserved for Sunday dinners or special occasions, so making it stretch into the week was part of the routine. Turning it into a salad meant another meal on the table without spending another dime. Perfect for farm families, small-town kitchens, and anyone who knew the value of a full pantry and a bit of imagination. Today, the fried chicken salad sandwich is more than nostalgia. It's a reminder of how Southern cooks made magic from what they had. It's creamy, crunchy, and loaded with history. The kind of recipe that feels right at home next to a glass of sweet tea and a slice of pie. One bite, and you'll taste the heart of old-fashioned country cooking. Simple, thrifty, and made with love. Liver and onion sandwich. The liver and onion sandwich was one of those old-school country favorites that divided the crowd. You either loved it or you didn't. But for those who grew up in the 1970s countryside, it was a flavor that meant home. Thinly sliced beef or chicken liver, pan-fried with caramelized onions, tucked between two slices of soft bread. It was rich, hearty, and full of that unmistakable, old-fashioned depth you just don't find anymore. This was a sandwich born out of thrift, nourishment, and the kind of cooking that never wasted a thing. The magic came from the skillet. The liver was dredged lightly in flour, seasoned with salt and pepper. and fried until browned and tender. Onions were cooked slow and sweet in the same pan, soaking up all that savory flavor. Once the two met on warm bread, sometimes with a smear of mustard or pat of butter, the result was bold, earthy, and deeply satisfying. It was the kind of sandwich that filled you up and reminded you that good food didn't have to be fancy. In those days, liver wasn't a delicacy. It was a necessity. Packed with protein and nutrients, it was cheap, easy to find, and could feed a family for next to nothing. Country cooks knew how to make it taste its best, pairing it with sweet onions to mellow its bite. Whether packed in a lunch pail or served hot off the stove, the liver and onion sandwich was a working man's meal through and through. Today, the liver and onion sandwich is a forgotten treasure of rural kitchens, a dish that speaks of resilience, simplicity, and skill. It's a taste of a time when people cooked with heart, using every part of what they had and making it delicious. One bite of that rich, savory sandwich, and you'll understand why some traditions are worth bringing back. Pinto bean and bacon sandwich. The pinto bean and bacon sandwich was the kind of down-home creation that could only have come from resourceful country cooks in the early 1970s. It was hearty, smoky, and surprisingly comforting, proof that even the humblest ingredients could make a meal worth remembering. Mashed pinto beans gave it a creamy, earthy base, while crispy bacon added salt and crunch in every bite. This sandwich was cheap, filling, and built to fuel a long day of work, whether you were in the fields, the factory, or just the family kitchen. The magic started with the beans. Leftover pinto beans, often cooked with ham hocks or salt pork, were mashed smooth and seasoned with a little salt, pepper, and maybe a touch of onion or chili powder. A few strips of hot, sizzling bacon were laid right on top, their smoky flavor soaking into the beans. Some folks even spread a bit of bacon grease on the bread for extra richness, a country trick that made every bite melt in your mouth. Served on thick white bread or cornbread slices, this sandwich turned simple ingredients into something downright satisfying. It didn't just taste good, it stuck with you. Pinto beans were cheap and packed with protein, while bacon brought the kind of flavor you couldn't buy from a can. Together, they made a meal that filled you up, warmed you through, and didn't cost more than a few cents. Today, the pinto bean and bacon sandwich stands as a tribute to the thrift and creativity of generations past. It's a reminder that the best food doesn't always come from recipes. It comes from making it and making it delicious. One bite of that smoky, creamy goodness, and you'll see why this forgotten favorite deserves a comeback on every table that still values comfort, simplicity, and a little country ingenuity. Bologna and barbecue sauce sandwich. The bologna and barbecue sauce sandwich was pure 1970s country comfort. A quick, smoky, and tangy bite that turned a cheap cut of meat into something downright craveable. Back then, bologna was the everyman's lunch meat. And when you added a splash of barbecue sauce, it suddenly felt like a backyard cookout on a sandwich. Fried or cold, it was messy, sweet, salty, and just a little bit smoky. The kind of flavor that stuck with you long after the last bite. The secret was in the sizzle. Country cooks would toss thick slices of bologna into a hot skillet, letting the edges curl and crisp until they browned just right. Then came the barbecue sauce. Sometimes store-bought, sometimes homemade, poured over the sizzling meat until it caramelized into a sticky glaze. Slapped between slices of soft white bread or a buttered bun, it was a sandwich that didn't need anything fancy to hit the spot. Some folks added a slice of cheese or a few pickles, but the core of the sandwich was always that sweet, smoky dance between bologna and sauce. It was the ultimate budget-friendly meal, born from necessity and flavored with creativity. Bologna was affordable and easy to find, while barbecue sauce stretched flavor far beyond its cost. For many, this sandwich was a Saturday lunch favorite, quick to make, easy to clean up, and filling enough to keep you going till supper. It carried the spirit of old-fashioned country cooking. Take what you have, make it good, and make it yours. Today, the bologna and barbecue sauce sandwich stands as a forgotten gem of Southern lunch counters and kitchen tables. It's bold, simple, and full of nostalgia. A smoky, sweet reminder of when food was about comfort, not complication. One bite, and you'll remember why this humble favorite once ruled the plate and why it's long overdue for a comeback. Pickle and cheese sandwich. The pickle and cheese sandwich was one of those quirky yet beloved country favorites that proved you didn't need much to make something satisfying. Born from the frugal kitchens of the early 1970s, it was tangy, salty, and unexpectedly comforting. A perfect mix of crunch and creaminess. When times were lean and the pantry was nearly bare, a few slices of cheese and a jar of pickles could still turn into lunch. It was the kind of sandwich that made do and made it delicious, capturing the thrifty, no-waste spirit of country living. The magic was in the balance. Sharp cheddar or American cheese gave a creamy, mellow richness that softened the bite of the pickles. Dill pickles brought tang and crunch, while sweet pickles offered a nostalgic, almost dessert-like twist. Some folks layered them cold on soft white bread with a smear of mayonnaise, while others toasted the sandwich until the cheese melted and the pickle brine sizzled. Either way, every bite delivered that perfect contrast: gooey, tangy, and just a little bit unexpected. It wasn't a fancy meal, but it was a smart one. Cheese was affordable and filling, and pickles lasted all year long in the pantry or cellar, often made from the summer garden's last cucumbers. Together, they created a quick, satisfying bite that could be packed for work, eaten on the porch, or shared at the kitchen table with a cup of sweet tea. In many homes, it was the go-to sandwich when payday was still a few days away. Today, the pickle and cheese sandwich feels like a forgotten treasure. Simple, thrifty, and full of flavor. It's a reminder of how rural cooks turned everyday staples into something special with nothing more than creativity and a little country common sense. One bite of that tangy, cheesy goodness, and you'll understand why this humble sandwich deserves to make its way back into lunchboxes everywhere. Deviled ham sandwich. The deviled ham sandwich was a spicy, savory favorite that brought a kick of excitement to lunch tables across America in the early 1970s. Made from finely minced ham blended with mustard, mayonnaise, and a touch of heat, it was a spread that could transform the simplest slice of bread into something memorable. This sandwich was quick, affordable, and packed with flavor. A clever way to stretch leftover ham and turn it into something new. For many families, it was a go-to recipe when you needed lunch in a hurry but still wanted a taste that felt homemade. The secret was in the deviling. The ham was chopped or ground fine, then mixed with just enough mayonnaise to hold it together and a spoonful of mustard, cayenne, or hot sauce for that signature kick. Some cooks added sweet relish, minced onion, or even a dash of paprika to make it their own. Spread thick on soft white bread, it delivered a perfect balance of creamy, smoky, and spicy, an old-fashioned flavor that woke up your taste buds without ever trying too hard. What made this sandwich special was its thrift and versatility. Deviled ham could be made from leftover Sunday roast or even from canned ham when money was tight. It stored well, traveled easily, and tasted even better the next day. Country kitchens often kept a jar of it in the fridge, ready for quick lunches, picnics, or late-night snacks. In an era before deli counters and pre-packaged meals, this was real homemade convenience. Today, the deviled ham sandwich is a flavorful bite of nostalgia. Simple, spicy, and satisfying. It's a reminder of a time when cooks made magic from scraps, turning what they had into something worth savoring. One taste of that creamy, zesty filling, and you'll remember why this fiery little sandwich earned its place in the Lunchbox Hall of Fame. Cucumber and cream cheese sandwich. The cucumber and cream cheese sandwich was the picture of simple country elegance, cool, creamy, and quietly refreshing. In the early 1970s, this sandwich was a staple at church luncheons, family picnics, and ladies' afternoon teas, where it offered a touch of sophistication without any fuss. Crisp cucumber slices layered over smooth cream cheese made for a light but satisfying bite that perfectly balanced texture and flavor. It was proof that sometimes the simplest ingredients created the most memorable meals. The magic was in the freshness. Cucumbers were sliced thin, sometimes salted lightly to draw out the moisture, and paired with a generous spread of cream cheese softened to perfection. A sprinkle of dill, chives, or black pepper added just the right amount of flavor, while soft white bread provided the perfect backdrop. Delicate, slightly sweet, and easy to bite through. Some cooks cut off the crusts and sliced the sandwiches into neat triangles, while others served them hearty and rustic on homemade bread. Either way, they were cool, crisp, and comforting all at once. This sandwich reflected the practicality and grace of country cooking. Cucumbers were easy to grow and abundant in summer gardens, while cream cheese was affordable and versatile. Together, they created a meal that was as frugal as it was refreshing, a welcome break from heavier fare during hot southern afternoons. It was the kind of sandwich that felt special even when made with everyday ingredients. Today, the cucumber and cream cheese sandwich remains a timeless classic, a bite of pure nostalgia from a slower, gentler era. It's clean, simple, and elegant in its own quiet way. A refreshing reminder of front porch lunches, hand-cut garden cucumbers, and the art of making something lovely out of the ordinary. One bite, and you'll see why this cool classic deserves its comeback. Hot bologna and onion sandwich. The hot bologna and onion sandwich was a working man's favorite, simple, spicy, and full of flavor that could wake up even the sleepiest appetite. In the early 1970s, this sandwich was a fixture in lunchboxes and country diners alike, offering a quick, hearty bite that didn't skimp on taste. Thick slices of bologna were fried until sizzling and browned at the edges, then topped with sharp onions for a punch of heat and crunch. It was bold, messy, and utterly satisfying. The kind of sandwich that filled your stomach and stuck with you all day. The magic happened in the skillet. Bologna, cut thick from the roll, was fried until it curled and blistered, soaking up all that smoky, salty flavor. Onions were sliced thin and tossed right into the same pan, caramelizing in the leftover grease until soft and golden. Some folks added a splash of hot sauce or a smear of mustard to crank up the flavor even more. Piled high on warm white bread or a buttered bun, it was the perfect marriage of savory meat, sweet onion, and just the right amount of spice. This sandwich was born from frugality and flavor. Bologna was cheap and easy to find, while onions were a kitchen staple that grew in nearly every garden. Together, they created a meal that cost next to nothing, but tasted like pure comfort. It was the kind of food that made sense after a long day, simple, hearty, and honest. Today, the hot bologna and onion sandwich is a fiery relic of old country kitchens and small town diners. A reminder that real flavor doesn't need fancy ingredients. It's smoky, spicy, and unapologetically bold. The kind of sandwich that fills the kitchen with good smells and the table with satisfied smiles. One bite and you'll remember why this forgotten favorite deserves a spot back on the stove. Egg and pickle sandwich. The egg and pickle sandwich was a tangy twist on a country classic. The kind of thrifty comfort food that showed up in lunchboxes and farmhouse kitchens all across the 1970s. It was simple, filling, and a little bit zesty, made from chopped hard-boiled eggs mixed with diced pickles and just enough mayonnaise to hold it all together. Every bite struck that perfect balance between creamy and tart, proving that even the humblest ingredients could make a meal worth remembering. The heart of the sandwich was the egg salad. Soft, rich, and seasoned with a dash of salt, pepper, and maybe a hint of mustard. The addition of pickles, whether dill for tang or sweet for contrast, gave the mixture a satisfying crunch and a burst of flavor that kept things interesting. Spread thick on slices of white or wheat bread, it was cool, comforting, and ready in minutes. Some folks topped it with a crisp lettuce leaf or even a slice of tomato, but most agreed it was best kept simple. Just eggs, pickles, and bread. What made this sandwich special wasn't just the taste, but the resourcefulness behind it. Eggs were cheap and always on hand, while pickles came straight from the pantry or the family cellar, preserved from last summer's harvest. It was the perfect example of old-fashioned country wisdom. Take what you've got, make it stretch, and make it good. Today, the egg and pickle sandwich stands as a reminder of simpler times and smarter cooking. It's bright, creamy, and full of character. A forgotten favorite that deserves another chance to shine. One bite, and you'll remember why this tangy twist on egg salad once held its place as a beloved staple of homemade lunches in family kitchens everywhere. Pork and apple butter sandwich. The pork and apple butter sandwich is a true taste of country ingenuity. Simple, sweet, and savory in perfect harmony. In rural America, especially through the 1960s and 70s, leftover roast pork never went to waste. Instead, it was sliced thin, piled high on bread, and spread with a generous layer of apple butter. A pairing that turned plain leftovers into something downright special. The tender, salty pork and the smooth, spiced sweetness of the apple butter created a balance that felt both humble and indulgent. Apple butter, slow cooked down from apples, sugar, and warm spices like cinnamon and cloves, brought a comforting autumn flavor to the sandwich. It gave the pork a hint of sweetness and a glossy finish, making every bite taste like Sunday supper in sandwich form. Some folks liked it on a soft white roll, while others preferred hearty homemade bread or even a biscuit. Either way, it had that farmhouse warmth that made lunch feel like a treat. This sandwich was born from the no-waste mindset of hardworking families. Nothing fancy, just smart, delicious use of what was already in the kitchen. Leftover pork from dinner, apple butter from the pantry, and bread from the day's baking came together with no fuss and no waste. It was practical, yes, but it was also deeply satisfying. The kind of food that reminded you of home with every bite. Today, the pork and apple butter sandwich is a forgotten gem worth reviving. It captures the best of old-fashioned cooking, thrift, flavor, and a touch of comfort. One bite of that sweet and savory blend, and you'll understand why country folks never needed fancy ingredients to make something unforgettable. Slaw and ham sandwich. The slaw and ham sandwich was a Southern favorite that brought together two picnic staples, savory ham and creamy coleslaw, between slices of soft white bread. It wasn't fancy, but it was the kind of sandwich that felt right at home at church gatherings, roadside diners, and backyard lunches. Salty ham provided the hearty base, while the slaw added crunch, creaminess, and a little tang, making every bite both refreshing and rich. Back in the 1970s, this sandwich was a thrifty cook's dream. Leftover baked or boiled ham found new life when paired with coleslaw made from shredded cabbage, a splash of vinegar, and a spoonful of mayonnaise. The balance of textures, crisp slaw against tender meat, made it feel more indulgent than it really was. Some families even use sweet pickles or a hint of mustard to give it extra bite, turning a simple lunch into something crave-worthy. You could find versions of this sandwich in lunch pails and roadside diners all across the South and Midwest. Sometimes it was served warm on toasted bread. Other times, cold and packed in wax paper for a day's work in the field. It was practical, satisfying, and easy to make with whatever was already on hand, a true reflection of country resourcefulness. Today, the slaw and ham sandwich deserves a comeback. It's the perfect example of how old-fashioned, no-frills cooking could turn scraps and staples into something truly special. One taste of that salty ham mingling with the creamy crunch of homemade slaw, and you'll understand why folks never needed deli counters or gourmet ingredients to make a meal worth remembering. Sausage and gravy sandwich. The sausage and gravy sandwich is pure comfort between two slices of bread, a down-home breakfast turned into a handheld meal. In small-town diners and kitchen tables across the South during the early 1970s, this hearty sandwich made use of two humble ingredients that could stretch to feed a family: sausage and flour gravy. It was messy, filling, and unapologetically rich, the kind of sandwich you'd eat with both hands and a stack of napkins. Farm families often made it after morning chores, spooning thick, peppery sausage gravy over leftover biscuits, cornbread, or even plain white bread. The sausage was browned until crisp around the edges, then simmered in milk-thickened gravy that soaked right into the bread, creating that unmistakable stick-to-your-ribs texture. It wasn't elegant, but it was deeply satisfying, the flavor of thrift and comfort combined. In some homes, folks used whatever sausage they had, pork, venison, or a mix of both, seasoned with sage or black pepper for extra bite. If money was tight, a little sausage went a long way, and the gravy helped stretch the meal to feed everyone around the table. Served with coffee or sweet tea, it was breakfast, lunch, or supper, depending on what the day called for. The sausage and gravy sandwich may not have made it into fancy cookbooks, but it was a staple of real country living, quick, hearty, and made with love. Today, it's a nostalgic reminder of how the simplest meals could bring the most comfort. One bite of that creamy, savory gravy soaking into soft bread, and you can almost hear the morning radio playing and smell the cast iron skillet sizzling away on the stove. Bacon and egg salad sandwich. The bacon and egg salad sandwich is one of those simple country meals that never tried to be fancy, but always delivered big on flavor. In the early 1970s, it was the kind of sandwich you'd find tucked into a lunch pail or wrapped in wax paper for a picnic. A hearty mix of creamy egg salad, made even better with smoky, crispy bacon. It was both thrifty and satisfying, the kind of meal that stretched leftovers into something worth looking forward to. Eggs were cheap, plentiful, and easy to work with, making them a staple in nearly every farmhouse kitchen. Chopped, hard-boiled eggs were mixed with mayonnaise, a bit of mustard, and sometimes a dash of relish or paprika for color. But what really transformed it into a special occasion sandwich was the addition of bacon, crumbled right into the mixture or layered on top before the bread went on. The saltiness of the bacon cut through the richness of the egg salad perfectly, making each bite taste indulgent without costing much at all. This sandwich had many faces. Some folks served it on white sandwich bread, while others preferred toasted slices or soft rolls. A bit of lettuce or tomato made it fancier, but the heart of the sandwich was always that comforting, creamy egg and bacon blend. It was ideal for busy mornings, Sunday suppers, or even late-night snacks after a long day on the farm. Today, the bacon and egg salad sandwich feels like a delicious throwback to simpler times, when good food didn't need to be complicated, and every ingredient worked hard to fill hungry bellies. It's proof that with a few eggs, a handful of bacon, and a little love, you could make something timeless that still hits the spot decades later. Chili and cheese open-faced sandwich. The chili and cheese open-faced sandwich was pure country comfort served with a spoon and plenty of napkins. Back in the early 1970s, this hearty creation was a favorite among families who knew how to make the most out of leftovers. A slice of white or sandwich bread became the base for a generous ladle of homemade chili, often made with ground beef, beans, and tomatoes, and then topped with a layer of melted cheddar or American cheese. It was messy, meaty, and budget-friendly. Everything a farmhouse meal was meant to be. This dish was born out of practicality. If you had leftover chili from the night before, you didn't let it go to waste. You poured it over bread, added cheese, and broiled it until bubbling. The bread soaked up the chili like a sponge, creating a soft, savory foundation that made forks optional. Some folks added a few slices of onion or a dash of hot sauce for extra flavor, while others preferred it plain and hearty, served right off the hot pan. In diners and lunch counters across small-town America, the chili and cheese combo was a staple, filling bellies without breaking budgets. It was especially loved during colder months, when something warm and comforting could make a long day's work feel a little easier. The open-faced version let every bite deliver the full experience. Gooey cheese, spicy chili, and just enough bread to hold it all together. Today, the chili and cheese open-faced sandwich stands as a delicious relic of frugal ingenuity. It's a reminder that comfort food doesn't need fancy ingredients, just a little resourcefulness and a hot oven. One bite, and you can taste the flavor of home, warmth, and the kind of simple satisfaction that defined country life in the early 70s. Pickled beef and mustard sandwich. The pickled beef and mustard sandwich was a tangy, no-nonsense classic that spoke to the heart of country thrift and bold flavor. In the early 1970s, folks knew how to make the most out of tough cuts of meat, and pickling beef was one way to stretch it while adding a zesty punch. The meat was simmered until tender, soaked in a vinegar-based brine with spices, then sliced thin and piled high on soft white bread. A generous spread of yellow mustard brought the whole thing together, giving it that sharp, mouth-watering bite only old-fashioned sandwiches seem to have. This wasn't a delicate or dainty meal. It was rugged and satisfying, the kind of sandwich you'd find in a farmhouse lunchbox or served with a cup of coffee at a roadside diner. The vinegar and mustard gave it a tang that cut through the richness of the meat, creating a flavor that was both simple and deeply memorable. Every bite reminded you of home-cooked meals made with patience, where nothing went to waste and every ingredient had a purpose. Pickled beef was often a way to preserve meat before refrigeration was common in rural areas. So the tradition carried on even when fridges became the norm. Families who grew up with the recipe kept making it out of habit and love for that unmistakable taste of old country cooking. A slice of onion or a bit of horseradish sometimes found its way in, adding another layer of boldness to an already lively sandwich. Today, the pickled beef and mustard sandwich might sound unusual, but it's a piece of forgotten food history worth remembering. It captures the spirit of frugality, creativity, and strong flavors that defined country kitchens of the 1970s. One bite of that tangy beef and mustard combo, and you'll understand why it deserves a comeback at the modern table. Thanks for joining us on this tasty trip through 30 forgotten hillbilly sandwiches that once defined country life in the early 1970s. If you enjoyed this nostalgic look back at simple, hearty eats, don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel for more forgotten recipes, classic comfort foods, and stories from the heart of vintage home cooking. Let's keep these country traditions alive, one sandwich at a time.